Today, on Be Something Wonderful, all things are possible except non-fulfillment. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning. Another great morning here in Hanoi, Vietnam. We're going to be moving on tomorrow to another city, but for now, big video. I had an early morning session with a client, and this was a fun session because she was talking about that she really gets it now about standing in her assumption. That she is having fun watching 3D conditions yield to her assumption, yield to her state of wish fulfilled. Before, she said, you know, Tom, before I had a lot of importance. I wasn't having fun. I was entertaining the idea that it might go wrong, or the other shoe might drop, or it might not happen. But now I just stand in that assumption no matter what. And 3D reality does yield. So we're going to talk about this, guys, today and more, because yesterday's video was powerful. We talked about the idea of the unreality of 3D conditions. But just like when I talk to my client today, I go, yes, the 3D conditions have no reality, and neither does non-fulfillment. It's a non-reality. It doesn't exist, right? She's just skipping the middle entirely, right? She has a desire, she has an assumption, and then she goes to the fulfillment. She skips the messy middle entirely. I want to talk about this today and more. Here's what it says from Science of the Mind, Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind. That person has the greatest power who most completely recognizes himself to be one with this infinite mind. This is the idea that we really talked about, that your greatest power is when you completely recognize that you're one with your assumptions, that you're one with your imagination, that you're one with God, you're one with the infinite mind, the one mind of God, you're one with that one love, right? Then there's no possibility. Then non-fulfillment is impossible, right? When you're one. There's no power in separation. And it's not about denying, rejecting, or separating from 3D. Because this question came up from another session I had shortly after this one. And it's never about that. They're saying, I don't know how to deny reality, or it's not about separating from 3D. 3D is the outward manifestation, the outward reflection of what's going on within you. It's not about separating from that. It's about transcending it, right? As you stay in your assumption, right? It's about molding it, right? Like Neville Goddard talks about in Scripture, the potter. You're the potter, molding 3D reality into what you want it to be, right? There's no power in separation. Separation's limitation. It's impossible to separate from God, the absolute. It's impossible to limit God. But you can think you can, which creates that experience. That's all that's going on. You're not separate. You're not even limiting anything. You're not even conditioning anything. Because the absolute is unconditioned. By definition, it can't be limited or conditioned. It's the experience of limitation. It's the experience of conditioning reality. That's what's happening. But it's the experience. So what are you really doing, though? You're expressing reality. You're not even limiting it. You're not even conditioning it. Hear this. We really went a step further to say that really everything that we experience in 3D is about, and it's an expression of all that is. Whether it's wanted or unwanted or good or bad, those are judgments in 3D. But all of it, as opposed to a limitation and a separation from source, it's an expression of source. That's big. So yesterday's video talked about the unreality of 3D conditions. Today we talked about the unreality of non-fulfillment. Right? That all of it is a unique experience or expression of the whole of God, of all that is. All change, all forms, all conditions are an expression of that one changeless, that one formless, that one unconditional love or power or God or source. It's an expression of source, all of it, right? So you'll never be able to convince the 3D you of the non or unreality of 3D conditions and non-fulfillment. So stop trying. This is really what she came to, my client this morning, really came to that conclusion. That why am I even trying to convince myself, the 3D me, the linear mind, of anything? Just transcend that middle. Your linear mind's never going to believe it anyway, right? So just let it sulk in its own disbelief and its own doubt, right? You'll never convince the 3D world of the unreality of the messy middle, right? That middle. So stop trying to. Go to the end and stay there. This is what she did. Remember, Scripture talks about the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, the first and last. Doesn't talk about the middle. The middle is taken care of. The middle, the ways are unknown, right? His ways are mysterious, right? But this is the Alpha, the beginning, the first is I am, right? And the Omega, the end, the last is I am. It's I am that, or who I am. The middle is that mystery of God. It's the divine middle. But we make it I am that, or I am not that. I am that what I don't want to be, or I'm not that which I want to be. That's what we do with the middle, instead of simply saying I am that, who I am, or I am that I am. The only I am. I get to remember all of this is the absolute I am, the one mind, all of it. The Alpha, your desire, right? And the fulfillment of your desire. You got the Alpha, the beginning, the first, your desire, your wish. The Omega, the end, the last, your fulfillment, right? That assumption fulfilled, that assumption a fact, right? Your truth, right? That's fulfillment. And then you've got the middle, right? But all of this is the absolute I am. All of this is one mind, right? But what happens? We get a desire, or we have an assumption, and then we get caught up in the middle, right? That, oh no, these conditions or something showing me that I'm not that. Or I am something that I don't want to be. And it keeps us from reaching that fulfillment that we believe is out of reach. It's already there. You're the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, first and last. Jesus didn't talk about the middle, right? It's a given. You are that I am. I am that I am. I am who I am. You are the absolute I am, that one mind. All of it is the one mind. Do you see it? Extremes meet. It's the whole of reality. It's looking at the unity, not just the middle, and not dividing up God between your desire, between thinking about your desire and then thinking about fulfillment. It's all one. It's all that absolute. That's powerful. So to God, the beginning, the end, the beginning equals the end. The first equals the last. The Alpha equals the Omega. The desire equals fulfillment. Do you see it? God doesn't get caught up in the messy middle, right? God declares it and is it, right? God is the isness of all of it. Declares it and claims it and is it. It's an announcement of reality, right? This is really the secret of the excluded middle. That cause equals effect, beginning equals the end, first equals last, Alpha equals Omega, desire equals fulfillment, right? This is what the secret of the excluded middle, the ancients talked about. To stay in the middle is to remain in a state of desiring, of wanting, and non-fulfillment. When you're here, you can't help but desire and want things and feel lack, right? But you want to go from here, from that desire, to the fulfillment, right? Here is where you're going to feel the lack. Here's where you're going to feel the desiring, right? To stay in the middle is to remain in a state of desiring, to wanting and non-fulfillment, right? And this is what William Walker Atkinson says in the Arcane Teachings. Everything must either be or not be. There is no other alternative or middle course. That's the secret of the excluded middle. It either is or it isn't. And it is. Because beingness can't be disputed. Existence can't be disputed. Right? You exist and will always exist. Your beingness is guaranteed. It's absolute. So if it's absolute, then there's no possibility that it can't be. Same with your desire. Same with your assumption. Same with your declaration of reality. Either it is or it isn't. But there's no possibility of it not being once you declare it. You create that illusion. You create that idea of not enoughness or notness. You get this, right? Everything must either be or not be. There's no other alternative or middle course. The middle is excluded, right? So there's only beingness. There's only completion. There's only fulfillment. Not enoughness is not a thing or truth, but an expression of the relative within the absolute. That's all that idea of lack is, right? It's an idea, it's not a thing, it's not truth, but it's an expression of that relative within the absolute, right? Remember, it's just an experience, it's an expression. We're the ones that call it lack or not enoughness, right? It's an experience. For in him we live and move and have our being or exist, right? Desire is the desire to move within the whole, right? So all of that is just moving within the whole, right? The whole can't be divided up. So you're just experiencing a portion of the whole as the whole. Do you get this? Desire is the desire to move within the whole, to change within the changeless, to be fulfilled within fulfillment. There's only fulfillment. All things are possible except non-fulfillment. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the channel. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos and commenting. We have a Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. You can share insight and guidance with others and ask for insight and guidance. Great group. Also, we have an Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com for all that information and more. We also have a membership channel where we have additional content and specific live streams to that channel. There's a link below to join that. Thank you for joining. And guys, just thank you for being with me. There's more coming, more excitement, more videos, more live streams. All of it is coming soon. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, see you soon.